Hello and welcome to my hindsight analysis of all of these discussions and interviews. Um, this is my fourth cup of coffee. It is almost 2 in the morning, and I'm gonna get this done before I have to go to school, even if it takes me all night. So, I guess we'll start chronologically. As of this moment, debt ceiling negotiations is still in the project. I think I might delete them though, because it's just incredibly boring compared to the rest of it, and no one is going to pay attention. No one is going to remember anything about the debt ceiling negotiations by the time they watch all the other videos. So I'm probably going to cut that out. But if I don't, we just had the great COVID-19 recession. I don't see how this is going to be beneficial. I think we're going to see I think we're going to see rapid decrease in prices and then rapid inflation, and it's just going to be a whole thing, and it's not going to be great for the common American. Montana becomes the first state to ban drag story hours. That's wild, also expected. I think the most interesting thing to come out of my research is from the interview itself that I had with Micah and Zoe. In the interview, Zoe proposes that the banning of drag story hours is unconstitutional based on our First Amendment rights to freedom of speech. And what she had said was freedom of expression or freedom to be yourself. And in that moment, I realized that we do not have that. There is no freedom to be yourself or freedom of expression. And my first thought was that, oh my God, that's horrible. We should have freedom of expression. But then immediately afterwards, I was like, what if some people's way of expressing themselves is participating in terrorist groups like the KKK? And that's just something that's incredibly hard to regulate. And so when immediately afterwards, Zoe and I think Micah agreed a little bit that the Constitution needs reform based on that. I was I've been thinking about that for a while, and I really don't see how that would be sustainable, successful, even. Um, I don't. I don't see America thriving in that kind of environment. I also thought it was very interesting that in the interview immediately after that one, on Holland v. Burkine that I had with Micah and Zoe, they essentially contradicted the idea that the Constitution should be upheld, that they backed in the drag story hours interview. They specifically Zoe said that even though she agreed that the act itself was unconstitutional, ICWA, that ICWA was unconstitutional. She thinks it's something should be looked over and reformed. And Micah had essentially the same sentiment, just a little different, on a little different words. And again, they called for reform, and it made me. It's given me the thought that I think that maybe the rest of our generation has similar sentiments, not necessarily just about the case, but about our Constitution in general, that it is outdated, and that it needs reform. And so I have been wanting to take a poll personally, with the class, if Buff will allow it. My question is, I guess, raise your hand if you think that the US Constitution will sustain our nation for the next 200 years. Okay, cool. Either we paused the video and took the poll, or it happened while the video is playing, or we didn't get to this video and none of you are going to watch this. Either way, I think it's an incredibly interesting notion. I wonder if reform will happen during our generation because we call for it so much. I wonder if it's going to take the next generation to really get something through. I don't know if it's ever really going to happen. I'm excited to see that in my future and in future generations. I think it's very bold to sue the entire state of Texas. Personally, I know this is a little. I'm a little too tired in this moment. It is 2 a.m. To give proper segues, but they're suing the state of Texas. These 5 women are suing the state of Texas, and I didn't go into the incredulity of that enough during these interviews, but that's bold. The fact that it might actually go somewhere is groundbreaking. I'm very excited to see this case unravel objectively, not necessarily looking from either side, but should this case even get to high court, it will be revolutionary. It's gonna be like in books, I'm excited. Gay people are getting life in prison in Africa. I'm not surprised. I'm not excited to watch that bleed into other countries in Africa. And even Tucker Carlson said that it was extreme. Yeah. Anyways, that was my hindsight analysis. This was very fun to do. It's not the best quality. I would have liked to have one continuous video. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Yeah. I don't know if any of you are going to watch this. If you do, thanks for sticking to the end and actually paying attention, at least for enough time to hear my outro. Thank you to everyone who allowed me to interview them. I really do appreciate it. And Membing sucks. Yeah. See you later.